On April 19th, 2023, Moonbin was found dead in his home. Just 13 days later, trot singer Hisu was found dead in her hotel room. And a week after that, police discovered the lifeless body of Choi Sungbal. They reportedly took their own life. Recently, Bam Bam has been sharing his feelings, and fans are really worried about him. He opened up saying, "I feel like the more you grow up, the happy days keep getting less. I'm gonna say I feel unhappy more than I feel happy these days. I just want to be honest because you guys are the only people that I can talk to. You guys are the only people that I can lean on. So that's why I really wanted to express my feelings to you." Bam Bam seems to be going through some serious mental and emotional struggles due to the pressures of his career, personal relationships, and the whole K-pop idol lifestyle. Mental health in K-pop is a hot topic, but honestly, it still feels like there's not enough real change happening. Sure, there's more awareness now, but it's still not enough, you know? And it's not just about mental health. Overworking is a major issue in K-pop too. Like Bam Bam said, "I just want to sleep and not wake up so I can finally rest." Fans are getting more and more frustrated with their faves' insane work schedules. There's so much pity and concern for their long hours and brutal routines. The more I dive into Korean culture, the more I get why overworking is such a problem and why the suicide rate in Korea is so high. I've actually addressed this issue on my channel before too. RM has been asked about the pressures of overworking in K-pop many times, and he talked about the topic in an interview with a French magazine. He said, "People in the West just don't get it. Korea is a country that has been invaded, devastated, and torn in two. Just 70 years ago, there was nothing. We were getting help from the IMF and the UN, but now the whole world is looking at Korea. How is that possible? How did that happen? Because people are working hard to improve themselves. You're in France or the UK and come to me with, 'Oh, you put so much pressure on yourselves. Life in Korea is so stressful.' Well, yes, that's how you get things done. And it's part of what makes K-pop so appealing. But of course, there are shadows. Everything that happens too fast and too intensely has side effects." Dr. Siderbao Seiji, a scholar specializing in Korean popular culture, shared her thoughts, saying, "What most fail to understand is that K-pop is just one example of Korean culture and history. There's no dark side to K-pop. K-pop artists live in Korean society, and Korean society has many problems." She emphasizes that the challenges faced by K-pop idols are a reflection of broader societal issues, not just isolated to the industry. Over the years, we've seen idols open up about struggling with being overworked, emotional fatigue, and unhappiness. Like, I remember in 2021, Suga talked about his experience with depression while promoting his album D-Day. Many of his lyrics reflect his battle with mental health, especially in the track Amygdala. Suga said, "I'm comfortable now and feeling good, but those sorts of negative emotions come and go. It's almost like cold weather. It may come back in a cycle over a year and a half. It's very encouraging." I think for anybody, these emotions are not something that need to be hidden. They need to be discussed and expressed. Whatever emotions I may be feeling, I'm always ready to express them now, as I was before. In 2021, former GOT7 member JB opened up about being diagnosed with clinical depression, saying, "I thought I was just mentally weaker than other people. For more than 3 to 4 years, I felt extreme pressure and burden as an artist. But instead of taking medication, I often hid those feelings away." Silent suffering is a huge issue. Woonjin Cha, an author and music critic, breaks it down. K-pop operates in groups. In Korea, even outside of K-pop, there's a strong reluctance to let an individual's issues negatively impact a group's activities. It's often assumed that if I have a problem, I'm harming the organization I belong to. In this environment, people often downplay their mental health or think they can just tough it out, which only makes things worse. The Cha believes that while people are more open now and seem to be paying more attention, it's still not enough. We should be able to talk about our mental health more freely, he says. In a 2021 interview with Rolling Stone, Suga expressed hope that more people would come forward with their stories instead of suffering in silence. Kang Daniel even centered an entire album around mental health. The songs reflect the hiatus he took in November 2019 due to anxiety, depression, and panic disorders. He later shared, "I still read bad comments, but because I was able to overcome them once, I can just deal with them now. There are good days and bad days, but there's always a reason to live. There are good things about life, and that's what I focus on now." Just like that, Bam Bam has also shared that he's feeling more unhappy as he grows older, grappling with inner turmoil. He expresses a sense of isolation, saying his fans are the only ones he feels he can confide in. This also makes me think about how idols really lack personal support systems outside of their public lives. I mean, they can literally get canceled for dating or having loved ones. So the problem runs way deeper than just blaming fans or companies. At the end of the day, K-pop is all about demand and supply. Bam Bam's honesty is admirable, but the emotional weight he's carrying is a heavy burden connected to the pressures of being a K-pop idol. His openness with his fans is a positive step in expressing his feelings, but the weight of these emotions is worrying, not just for him, but for his fans too. The constant need to give energy to fans while feeling unhappy leads to burnout. Plus, his darker thoughts about the people around him raise serious red flags about those managing his career. Bam Bam even said, "People around me are the reason I'm dying." While many fans are concerned and showing support for Bam Bam, other idols are stepping up for him too. One standout is Jackson, who wrote a heartfelt message for him on X saying, "People closely around us, especially in the industry, only care about living their life like you're living yours. Different intentions. It's facts. It's reality. We all go through it, just different aspects. Don't take it negatively. Sometimes you just gotta be more selfish and get things right for yourself. It's not always a bad thing. We all have choices. Make them, Bam. Be at a place where you get appreciation. Don't forget who you are. Love you for who you are." Jackson has also opened up about his own experience in the K-pop industry, saying, "I feel like I've been inside a machine for the last 9 to 10 years. It's like a long marathon I keep running. I don't enjoy or feel the environment around me or look back if I dropped anything." Many people are appreciating Jackson for showing support for his brother and speaking out about the dark side of the idol industry. At the same time, many are criticizing the companies for what Bam Bam is going through, but the reality is that companies aren't the sole reason for this issue. Time and time again, when an idol decides to take a break, fans get angry and all hell breaks loose. They start demanding that idols come back. And regarding mental health, psychologist Ji-hyung Kim shared that companies are expanding mental health care within agencies and exploring ways to support idols facing psychological challenges. However, for these efforts to be truly effective, fundamental changes to the system, which perpetuates many underlying issues, are necessary. Similarly, music critic Woo Jin-cha said, "Things like legal measures for minors' working hours and limits on contract lengths have improved over the past decade and continue to improve. But the pressure K-pop artists face goes beyond the system. It's tied to the business and social climate." Cha explained that being a K-pop artist, regardless of age, means becoming aware of the business structure of the music industry and the role you play in it, which can be a heavy burden. Definitely. As long as idols are under contract, labels will try to make as much money as they can off them, often at the cost of their burnout and mental health. As we see idols like Bam Bam navigate their struggles, it's super important to remember that their journey is filled with challenges we can't even begin to grasp. The pressure to constantly perform and keep up appearances can seriously weigh them down. So, mental health in K-pop isn't just a passing trend. It's a major issue we need to talk about. And don't forget these idols. Their worth goes way beyond the stage. They're people too, and a little love can go a long way. Just remember, it's totally okay to not be okay, and we need to talk about it more